Episode 03, Life Energy. Let's address one of the most well-protected secrets in society. It must be called a secret because this matter was dealt with 5,000 years ago by the ancient Chinese. Yet, instead of being taught in educational institutions, information about it is now obscured. For the ancient Chinese, it was obvious that in their world, they saw energetic men with splendid minds and healthy bodies who lived to very old ages. On the other hand, they observed men with weak bodies who died prematurely. They noted that there were no significant differences in nutrition or recreational habits between the two groups, yet the outcomes were very different. They put forward the idea that the procreative process might have something to do with these differences. Hence, they began observing what exactly happened during and after sexual activity. It wasn't difficult for them to see that the sexual event had a tiring effect, particularly on men. But why was that? The activity itself could not have accounted for a significant energy loss. Certainly men lost something during the process, but could the rather insignificant loss of cells, high in protein and vitamins though, account for the very significant changes noted after intercourse? The Chinese concluded that the loss or preservation of a man's qing, his procreative cells, had considerable influence on him, his love life, his health, and in general, his surroundings. They tested their observations in good scientific tradition. Let's see, they said, if a change in sexual behavior will make a difference. Will a man who starts controlling his qing live a happier, healthier, and longer life? These tests were not aimed at discontinuing sexual activity. They aimed at controlling the loss of qing while still promoting a happier love life and even encouraging intercourse. As a result of their tests, they concluded that it was possible, necessary, and good to have intercourse often, but to lose qing rarely. 5,000 years ago, this knowledge was immortalized through the conversations between Huang Ti, the legendary Yellow Emperor, 2696 to 2598 BC, and Su Nu, the simple girl in the Huang Ti Ne Qing, China's earliest medical compendium called the Su Nu Jing. Apparently, the Yellow Emperor took Su Nu's advice very seriously. He, a historical figure, lived to the age of 98, followed by the legendary Chinese emperors, all of whom lived well past 100. The full account of this 5,000-year-old endeavor is documented in detail in Zhoulan Chang's book, The Tao of Love, one of the very rare sources on the topic. Recently, within the last 5 years or so, contributions to the matter have surfaced on YouTube, though they remain difficult to find. On top of that, the Chinese realized that women became happier through this practice. Due to the control of qing, a man had more time for love, and his focus shifted away from the primary goal of transferring his qing. This allowed him to keep his drive alive, meaning that a night full of love became possible, something most women desired. In our present world, men die earlier than women. Their lifespan is currently shorter by about 5 to 10 years on average. A shortened lifespan implies more stress on the body during life, which generally results in lower life quality. This is in addition to the economic impact of a shortened life. This shortened lifespan seems to be a direct consequence of mismanaged personal energy control. A great advantage of discussing this topic is that most people can relate to it. In every relationship, whenever the sexual event takes place, the people involved have their own set of experiences they can compare to the theory the Chinese called the Tao of Love. This fact is advantageous because everyone can start examining the matter based on their own experiences, as most people have valuable memories to draw from. Personally, I lived like most other men and women until I turned 23. Through a certain chain of events, 2 women in a row, both members of the upper class, encouraged me to study the topic. As a result, experiments were conducted on myself, which convinced me without a doubt that, at least in my case, there was a huge impact on how my life, my love, and my perception of the world developed. It seemed as if, in addition to the flow of a very potent secretion, some other energy was flowing, hard to describe but very perceptible. The force, it seemed, had been with us all along, present every day, every moment. A continuous amount flowed toward us, both male and female, but we only became aware of it in those moments. As mentioned, after living like an ordinary postmodern man until the age of 23, the idea of the Tao was introduced to me. Before then, I had no clue that my sexual behavior could have any significant effect on my life. My naive understanding was that it was all the same. The common notion was that it was healthy to keep the machine running as fast as possible. Uncontrolled intercourse was considered healthy, with no need to hold back. This is still the postmodern message. In my case, the new information and the consequent change in behavior unmistakably made a huge difference. The general population had no clue about it. My girlfriends were all quite surprised. The big question was, why was all of this undiscussed? Why was the public kept in the dark about such a central matter? And what would happen if this notion became public and a common practice? This, from my point of view, fantastic idea was given to me, and it slowly began to influence and change my life. Every event that unfolded in my subsequent life can, without a doubt, be closely connected to this particular change. All problems in my life would have been insurmountable if not for that special source of energy that had been made available to me. Before, my love life existed, but it was full of problems and phenomena that were impossible to understand. With this practice, many things became clear, including past experiences. My awareness and outlook then became that as long as this special energy could be harnessed, even the most unfavorable circumstances could be managed. It is important to stress the deep and basic significance of such a lifestyle change. After a very long experiment and many interviews with others, there is no doubt in my mind that this particular aspect of every human's life is absolutely crucial and so fundamental that it can profoundly change any individual's life. It has the power to change or improve every individual's relationship, even if only indirectly from the point of view of women. It can change any particular culture. If we take this prediction seriously, we see that a common adaptation of this new perspective on love has the potential to change the entire planet. The Earth's population is a conglomerate of different cultures living in different climate zones, each with its particular language, religion, and nutritional habits. While these cultures may be very different, they all have one thing in common. They physically love on a more or less routine basis. Therefore, this topic affects almost every single human individual, regardless of origin, religion, or culture. We all strive on a recurring basis for the same treasure. Human sexual events, then, seem to be the most influential early and reoccurring events in human history. Continue following me on this channel, gain insights into what the world is about, and start building your own pyramid of existence. Find out in the next episode how our misguided consumption of food is connected and how you can improve it.